Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and today we are going to talk about occupations and how to build your character up. First of all, I'm going to talk about some stuffs. First things first, I have some experience in this game. I know how to survive, at least in vanilla games. You might be able to survive in like harder conditions. Good on you. But on vanilla games and the main game, I have a lot of experience. I have some experience in other modded games as well, modded mode game modes as well. But all in all, first things first, these are all my opinion on how to build your character. These are my opinion on which occupation is good, which traits are bad, which traits are good. So if you have different opinion, tell it in the comment. Tell me what do you think, why you think this trait is bad, or why you think my opinion is bad, and I actually ignore it. Not gonna lie, if it's shit, but but at least from here I say thank you for watching. At least spent the time, helped me with the algorithm. I'm not a very big channel, you guys know that, but we'll get big with the support of you. So anyways, that's aside. So that was very important. I wanted to highlight it out every single time I do a tier list guide or guides that are really opinion dependent. I say these things, and I feel the need to say them to clear some things out. Without any further ado, we're going to first talk about occupations. So the first part is occupations. Then we're going to talk about which traits to use, and with those occupations that I really like to play with, which traits to not use with those occupations, use with them with those occupations. Usually, the skill sets that I set are universal. I usually use most of them, 99% of them, for all the occupations that I use. So these are the main things. Let's start. So let's start with occupation. There are some very, very good and OP occupations, and there are some terrible occupations that are very conditional. If you're like playing with your friends, like there are 5 of you, then you can go for these not so great occupations to just have the immersion going. For example, someone will be a fighter, someone will be a shooter, someone will be a builder, someone will be a chef. I don't know, and some stuff like that, role playing, let's say. So I'm going to talk about the good stuff, the stuffs that I personally like to use or recommend you using them. First of all is unemployed. Basically, the only good thing about this occupation, which is not an occupation, is the points that you start with. It's 8 points. So basically, you can start very strong with all these strong, athletic, hunter, and handy. I actually will build an unemployed unemployed character, and show you guys how effective can you be, even better than many of these occupations. So unemployed is the go-to be honest, if you really know what you're doing. The next one is fire officer. Very, very strong occupation. You start with additional strength and fitness, 1 additional strength and fitness. Awesome. Not many other occupations have that. And also you have experience in axe. Axe is a very good weapon. Although I really think early game it's not very good because you need the cloth on the zombies and it will damage them because it's a bladed weapon. But all in all, a very strong weapon nonetheless. So it's good to have it. Also sprinting not bad, but like not that great either. And also you do not lose anything. Like 0 points. You start with 0. So you can add anything you like, add anything to balance these things you like. Very, very good occupation. To be honest, if you don't like to use unemployed, second best thing to go with is fire officer. Fire officer. Now the police officer. I can say it's as good as these two, to be honest. Like if these two are very good, these are like it's okay. The reason I'm saying it's okay is especially for new players and also veteran players, you do not start shooting in early game. You're going to be dead because you do not have enough ammo for your shotgun. First of all, shotgun. Because usually at aiming 3 with police officer, you start with aiming 3. It's not much you can like shoot with. The only thing that you can shoot is shotgun. You can't use pistols efficiently. Can't use assault rifles. Basically, you just need to dedicate your uh, ammos to shotgun shells, and they're not that easy to find. So yeah, unless you're going for gun play style, gunning, running and gunning, for example, play style, police officer is very good. Especially I like the nimble trait. Nimble is all in all good even if you're in melee because you can walk backward faster. So you can like make that distance while attacking with the zombies. The better your nimble skills are, the better you will perform in melee attacks, especially melee attacks. And yeah, to be honest, police officer, still you can like add with those things that I'm going to show you. Still you can add some melee and more survivalist stuff, but mainly uh, it's more aggressive. Park ranger, again, a very good trait, occupation to have because you have carpentry. You basically can survive in the wild. If you want to survive outside of the towns, build your own home, own base, or at least go into a cabin into the woods, which are plenty in the world of Project Zomboid. Uh, Park Ranger is very good, especially for trapping and foraging. If you're planning on the long run and trying to survive longer, these two are very good. Uh, and also you got the axe, very good weapon there. Also, you can add more traits to make him more viable. But we're talking about like raw, instant things that the occupations gives you. Construction worker, don't go for it, to be honest. I mean, the multiplier 125% more XP, getting more XP, 125% more XP from short blunts. But short blunts are, to be honest, good for clearing insides, not fighting a horde, because the range is very short, so zombies close in very fast on you. So you have to basically hit and run, which will cost your life because you get exhausted so easily. The next one is security guard. Don't go security guard. Don't go for it. Night owl. It's basically you require less sleep. Basically, it's the wakeful trait, but better because you get extra alert when sleeping as well. Like if there's a little noise, your character will wake up and you have time to react to it. But usually you don't need that. You won't sleep in a place that is not safe. At least you have windows, or you have doors. Basically, I don't know if you like to sleep in bad places. You just take this. But all in all, I do not recommend these two occupations. Carpenter. Now, carpenter is interesting. And the reason is if you really want to dedicate building stuffs, especially building in the woods, which I obviously had a run with carpenter occupation, and it was a very, very successful run. And I just died because I was so unlucky and unprofessional. But anyways, if you like to build something, between park ranger and carpenter, you probably pick park ranger, but like with carpenter, you can get to carpenter level 10 super fast. That 125% more extra XP is very helpful. And also you start with level 3 carpentry, awesome as well. And you get to level 10 like easily. You basically read some books, watch some VHS, and you're done. You get to 10. Probably 9 if you're like very bad at managing that book and VHS ratio and do not do any more carpentry in between, which you probably do. When you hit like carpentry level 4, you probably start building. You can easily hit level 10 and make some good stuffs, some high quality stuffs. So carpenter, if you try the building, go for it. Also, you start with 2 points, so it's a very good thing to have as well, compared to park ranger, which you have -4. Burglar. Now burglar has the strongest, in my opinion, strongest early game, because you can hotwire any car you like. And early game, having a car is very, very good and very crucial, because you need to go places before you settle in. You need to go farm. You need to go loot that place, this place. You need to go around a lot. So burglar is a very good trait, but it comes with a cost, -6 points. And what you get for it, some boosts for your light-footed, nimble, and sneaking. You're basically a sneaky character. With sneaking and light-footed, you get less chance to get spotted by zombies. Also, with the conspicuous, it'll be better. With graceful and inconspicuous, these two will make you more sneaky. All in all, if especially if you're playing with friends, one of you needs to be a burglar. Not gonna lie, like at least one of you needs to be a burglar. It's a very, very good trait, but yeah, the cost is -6. I recommend. So by far, I recommend unemployed, fire officer, police officer. You can go with it. Park ranger, carpenter, and burglar. Chef, out of the question. Repairman. To be honest, -4. Like compare it to carpenter. The only good with repairman is the maintenance. So maintenance basically reduces the chance that your weapon loses durability. That's the thing that maintenance does, which is very good. But carpenter, if you take the handy, you get that maintenance too. 75%, 25% less. But yeah, repairman is not, like, to be honest, my go-to. I do not recommend it that much. You can still go with it, but like park ranger is better than that. You get more value with the same punishes. Both of them -4 points. So I recommend just go for park ranger if you want to pick a repairman. 100% XP boost on maintenance is not that considerable. Farmer, seriously. Fisherman, no. No. Doctor, again, I'm saying that, like, you can be a doctor if you're like 5 players and you want to role play as a doctor. You have your own clinic, you help people. Because first aid, the thing with first aid, the higher your first aid is, the better and quicker the wounds will heal. So basically your teammates can come to you and you will heal them because you have more first aid skills. And they get healed faster. But other than that, it's not worth it. Especially short blade. Short blade is useless. Never use short blade. Like in a fight, short blades are useless. You want to be sneaky, it's awesome because you have the sneak attack. But in upfront battle, short blades are useless because they have a killing animation that will lock your character in the place, and other zombies easily swarm you and kill you. And it has a very bad range. Veteran. If you're very new to the game and you don't like to deal with the all fearing, panicking, and stuffs, this is the go-to. Probably many new players pick this one if they know what desensitized is. With desensitized, your character never gets panicked, unless it's a nightmare. So yeah, that's a very good thing, huh? Your character never gets panicked while facing a horde, never panics when getting bloodied and stuff, but with it comes with a lot of limitations. First of all, you can't peak fear of blood, which is a very easy thing to counter. You just wash yourself. It's not like that bad as well. Like it will get you stressed out, and if you don't attend to it, it will get you depressed. Only that. That's not a big deal. I'm going to talk about it, but all in all, yeah, the desensitized might be very very good because I don't get panicked while facing a horde, and as the mood says, my accuracy with weapons drastically reduces when I get panicked, severely panicked. But that's not true. It's actually your damage with weapons reduced. So you're holding a gun, for example, shotgun. When you're super panicked, your shotgun deals less damage. And this thing actually completely goes away after aiming level 5. So basically, if you're panicked and you have more than 5 skill points in aiming, you basically do not get any debuffs. For some reason, the mood says your accuracy reduces, but like I actually checked the wiki. I'm not saying it's from my experience or anything. It's just fact there. The wiki says that it only reduces the damage. So yeah, you decide. So it's not a like very I need to be desensitized. Nothing like that. So all in all, for new players, it's not a bad thing because like you will get a little bit more comfortable dealing with hordes at the first playthroughs, because still being super scared reduces your damage, and it reduces it for a good amount. So yeah, that's for that. But in my opinion, that doesn't really justify the -8 points, which is a balanced thing. Like desensitize is a very big, huge feat to have, but -8, it's so hard to compensate and get more survivability out of this occupation. Like you need to be very thoughtful with your choices of traits, and very limited. So that's veteran. I semi recommend it to new players only. I do not recommend it if you have a good experience in this game. It's pointless to be desensitized because you can easily fight with the fears. Anyways, nurse, absolutely, absolutely bad. It's basically doctor, but like worse. Only 25% worse in terms of XP boosts. Only that. Lumberjack, I talked about it. Compared to Firefighter, it's not the best choice, to be honest. It's just like Firefighters, 0 points to start, but less appealing starting points. I know you can swing faster with your axe, you can cut trees faster, but really, it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. Fitness instructor, it gives you 3 points in fitness. Holy crap. That's a lot of fitness. And like having the athletic, it gives you 4. You probably at the start of the game have a 10 out of 10 fitness. That's a lot. But again, it has another special ability called Nutritionist, which you can obtain it as a perk. Where is it? Here it is. Well, so basically what Nutritionists do it just gives you the calorie points of the food, any food. So you pick up a carrot, for example, it will give you information on how much calories will it give you. Other than that, sprinting 100% not appealing. -6 points. It's basically between this and burglar. Which one would you pick? Of course, you just answered the correct one. You don't. I actually am kind of like doubtful of whether you thought about the correct answer. This is the wrong answer. Pick the burglar. Speaking of burger flipper is basically the chef but worse. Only that. Do I need to continue? No. Electrician. Now, electrician is somewhat useless. Maybe they give more love to electrical stuffs in next build 42. But for now, you cannot do much with electrical stuffs, electricity to really need this much electrical XP boost that it gives, multiplier that it gives. So yeah, useless. -4 for the starting, not good. If it was like 0 or +2, that would be debatable, but no, not this. Engineer. Interesting. I currently am running a series with the engineer occupation. Engineers, it might not say anything in this description, but they have a hidden talent, which is they can create bombs. And that's that. And what type of bombs? Pipe bombs, aerosol bombs. These two are like the ones that you throw and they explode, and they like make fire a little bit on the ground. There's the fire bomb, basically a cocktail Molotov, and the final one is smoke bomb. Smoke bomb basically severs the line of sight between you and the zombies, but it might not work very well when a horde is attacking you. It might like stun them for a little bit, gives you a little bit of time to escape, but not that much because they still walk. So if they walk out of the fog, they just spot you. But still, it's a viable option to get away. Maybe it's better. It's a better option in multiplayers. It deals more damage to players. The bombs deal more damage to players. Basically, picking engineer for multiplayer runs are better because the bombs deal less damage. As far as I remember, I'm not remember it correctly. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm very sure it's that they deal bonus damage to players. They do not damage much to the zombies, but they do more damage to the players. So if you want to like blow your enemies, especially in multiplayers, PvPs up, engineer is a good thing because the carpentry and electrical boosts are, especially the carpentry, are very nice to have. Metal worker. So it's again just like electrician. It's kind of like electrician, but better. Not gonna lie. Metalworking actually has use. Has some uses. For example, you can build metal walls, metal windows, metal furnitures. Basically, you're a carpenter, but you work with metals. It's exactly like carpenter, but you work with metals. And carpenter does not have -6 points starting. It has +2. Very good for carpenter. That's why many people use carpenter. It's basically is a very strong starting point. If carpenter was -6 as well, it was a little bit like bad to pick carpenter. But he has +2. He comes with more points, although having 125 in carpentry. So metalworker, again, if you're in a group that try to role play. Some people like do metalworking, some people do fighting and stuff like that. You can pick this. But in a single run, I really don't see the value in that. Especially the -6 is quite a lot. Mechanic, again, a role playing occupation. Especially if you use mods that add tons of cars in the game. Mechanics might be fun. Probably they're fun, probably. Especially with the new cars and stuff. You get them, you fix them, you upgrade them. To upgrade them, to be honest, you need the metalworking as well. So if you have a friend who's a metalworker and you're a mechanic, you will do wonders. And you got some bonus to short blunt. So let's cap it up. I talked about each occupation. Some of them were just so useless that I just skipped it. So the things that you might want to go with are unemployed, first option, fire officer, police officer. Actually, police officer might be your latter option. But fire officer, police officer, park ranger is a very good option too. Carpenter, very strong. Burglar, also very good starting. For example, like in terms early game starts. And do I really need to recommend veteran? If you're new to the game, go with veteran, but other than that, it's very like you need, like, maybe you're doing some sort of runs that really needs your character to stay calm and do not get scared. Go for veteran, and take this with a grain of salt. To be honest, like engineer if you're playing a multiplayer PvP, or you want to have some fun with bombs, going ape shit with the bombs. Yeah. Other than that, not that useful, to be honest. -4, yeah, not that great. But carpentry is nice though. Okay, welcome to the second phase, which is the traits and how which one to pick. First of all, let's pretend that you're picking the fire officer or unemployed. Unemployed, I try to start with unemployed. 8 green points, like you point the green points, which means you can use good stuffs on your character. So what do we have here? Let me just very quickly. Some of them need a little bit more speaking, but some of them are just I just brief through. First one is demon, speed demon. Don't get this. You will probably crash into stuffs because you will drive, as it describes, very fast. So I do not recommend this. You might crash to stuffs. Cat eyes, I do recommend this one. Very good trait. You can see 50% better at night, and also foraging at nights while in search mode. It actually affects that. You do that better. Sorry, my voice. I'm a little bit sick. Dexterous, absolutely needed. 50% faster while moving objects from a container to yourself, or from your backpack to your hand or to your car, stuff like that, while moving objects into different containers. Fast reader, I really do not recommend this one. If you're on a server, pick this one because you don't want to like spend an hour reading a book. But if you're on a single player and it's not a server, you can just fast forward times. Why do you need this one? So I pretend that you're like, let's presume and pretend that we're in a single player. So I don't pick this one. Okay, outdoors man. You basically have less chance to catch a cold while outside, and also 1% less chance to get scratched or some lacerations from walking through the vegetation, like walking through the trees. Uh, you will end up picking it most of the times because it's -2 points. It's not a bad thing to have, at least in my opinion. But it's not like that important. Very like you have to have this. The next one is wakeful. If you're playing on a server, you will never have anything related to sleeping because basically you can't sleep. So another thing about cat eyes, if you're on a server, cat eyes might come in handy more often than when you're a single player because in single player you usually sleep through the night, but in servers you have to play the game during the night. So cat eyes are very essential. In my opinion, more essential there than compared to single players. So in single players, you kind of can forget about it, but as I said, like if it's a stormy day and it's dark, in stormy days it gets dark. Cat eyes will come to rescue. Also, it affects your foraging ability. Furthermore, it improves that. Wakeful, get it. I recommend getting it because you need less sleep, and that's a good thing. You don't just remember this. You don't want to get tired while facing a horde. Uh, Being sleepy reduces your damage output a lot, just as being exhausted. It's just like that. And also, if you get more tired, your accuracy with weapon reduces as well. Iron Gut, useless. You have lesser chance to get food poisoning, and trust me, there is plenty of food out there. You're not going to be needing to like eat foods that gone bad. So yeah, if like even 2 months in, you started farming. You know what I mean? You started farming, hunting, so you basically have fresh food all the time, even it's like 2 months later. Angular, absolutely not. And another thing that I like to say that any traits that you get that actually directly affects the skill, for example, the skill fishing, when you get the angler, not only it gives you 1 point. Some of them it says 1 point to fishing. Not only gives you 1 point, it gives you 75% more XP multiplier to that as well. So, keep that in mind. So Angular, no. Baseball player, I really like this because I like long blunt, and the reason I like them is that with long blunt, zombies have bigger chance to knock down and lie on the floor, and you just easily stomp their head. Or while you're facing a horde, it will buy you more time to deal with them. They're lying on the ground. Other zombies are just coming, and you just diminish their numbers while they're lunging at you, so you can 1v1 them. It will create better situations for you while fighting zombies when you can knock them out. And also, it won't damage the clothes. So if you need those clothes, uh, long blunt is the best option. It deals very good damage as well. Another one is Brave. Brave, if you're going for a character that you really need to like fight a lot, you want to fight a lot, you're a little bit more aggressive. Brave is good. Like as far as I know, 30% less chance to get panicked from in front confronting zombies and hordes. A good thing to have. Uh, First aider, gardener, you don't need these. You don't need first aids. You don't need farming. Like having multipliers on farming is good because you will end up farming. It doesn't matter which occupation you take, because farming is so OP in this game, especially cabbages. Uh, but again, farming is something that you can get the XP super fast. It's very easy to level it up. You don't need the multipliers necessary. You just read books and get the necessary multipliers for it. Graceful and inconspicuous. Graceful, your step sound reduces by 90%. That's a lot. So zombies are less likely to hear you walking around. And also, you have less chance to trip while you're running through a fence. You tackle and you bump into a zombie while running. These have a chance for you to lose your balance and fall. With graceful, it's 10%. I feel like it was it like 10% less chance to have this. And inconspicuous is basically your character has less chance to get spotted by zombies, which is very good. All in all, graceful and inconspicuous are for those type of players who want to be more sneaky. I usually don't get these two myself. I don't need to be stealthy. You can be, especially early game and also late game. It's manageable. Like early game, there are small zombies, and in late game, you have guns, you have cars, you can just run away. That's not hard to deal with. So being sneaky is not a mindset that I personally have. But these are very good. I recommend them. Lucky and Light Eater. Let's talk about Lucky first. You get 10% more chance to find loot in containers. Very good. And also it has 5% improved chance of finding stuffs while foraging. So very good trait to have, but not necessary, as I said. And also another thing that it has, when you repair a weapon, it has some chances. Especially the more you repair them, it has the chance that you fail repairing that. It will use the material, for example, duct tape, but it won't improve the durability of the weapon. Lucky actually gives you a little bit of multiplier on that as well. You have less chance to actually fail upgrading, not repairing the weapon. My brain just farted. A helicopter is. We have a helicopter event in our town, I guess. Oh my god, that's a. Okay, I don't know if you guys hear it or not, but I can hear it very loud and clear. Okay, Light Eater. You don't need this. Trust me. Yeah, there's plenty of food out there, although it's a little bit harder, like compared to water, to find food. But as long as you don't get hearty appetite, you don't really need the light fooder as well. Just don't pick these two. Nutritionist, we talked about it earlier on the fitness instructor. Basically, it will give you information about the calories that each food has. Resilient, useless, to be honest, useless. You're less prone to catch diseases, and also when a zombie bites you, when it's a bite, it's 100% death. You get zombified after 3 days. With resilient, it might take longer for you to turn into zombie, but it's inevitable. You will turn into zombie. So useless, -4 points for something that is easily preventable, and less prone to disease. If you're unless you're trying a challenge, waking up in the middle of winter, but in vanilla, you have a long way until getting to winter. So by then, 2 months later, in these 2 months, you basically gathered everything you need to pass the winter, to survive the winter. So that's, as long as you wear something warm, you don't catch cold that easily, at least that easily. Runner, you don't need sprinting that much. You don't need sprinting that much to have multiplier and spend points for it. Sewer, having sewer multiplier XP and also one point to tailoring is good because you can improve your clothes with tailoring to have more bite resistance. But at the end of the day, you should not get beaten. This is the motto of the day. Just keep that in mind. You don't have to get beaten, get jumped. Just be careful. That's it. Because it does. Trust me, it doesn't matter if you have a full plate armor on you. There's a chance that you get beaten. Okay. That's it. Amateur mechanic, you really don't need it. Like, unless you're going for a build that is specifically connected to the cars. You'll be able to at least run and hotwire cars and like repair them by reading books, watching the Car Zone 1, Car Zone 2, and Car Zone 3, and also like grinding a little bit for mechanics. You don't necessarily need the amateur mechanics unless you have something specific in your mind. Gymnast, again, if you're a stealth player, you can take this because the light-footed is actually good. Nimble is much more better, especially while fighting a horde. But again, it's not something that I really recommend, but it's good to have. If you have that specific build in your mind, go for it. But you will sacrifice so many stuff, so it's minus 5 points. Just remember that you sacrifice a lot of stuffs. Brawler, I always pick this because it has, again, points to long blunt and axe. So basically we have 2 points in long blunt and 100% XP multiplier. So basically how it works, you might say, oh, both of these should give 75% multipliers to long blunt, brawler, and baseball player. Well, here's the catch. The first one, if there is no zero multiplier on, for example, long blunt, a skill, the first one will give you 75%, the second one will give you 25%, and the third one will give you 25%. And that's that. There's no more than 125%. Because let me show you. For example, police officer has aiming at 125%. If I get the hunter, which also gives you 1 point of aiming, which means 75%, which means it should give me 25% more, it will give you nothing. You see? So the multiplier cap is 125. And if you have 3 skills lined in your traits that you chose, it will, like 2 of them will give you 25% and 1 of them will give you 75%. That's how it works. For those who had questions about why it's not giving me 2 75% multipliers. All right, the next one is cook. Also the axe multiplier. I like that. Axe is a very good weapon to actually have, especially late games when you don't need the cloth and you just need the raw damage. Cook. You don't need cooking. You don't need cooking. You can like easily get to cooking by watching the VHS and reading the books. You don't need the multiplier that much. How much does it give you? It gives you 100% multiplier though. It's because it gives you 2 points. It gives you. It's basically like picking up two cooking skills, like brawler and baseball player or something like that. But cook is useless. Don't pick it unless you're going for something specific. Eagle-eyed, again, if you're like doing a stealth mode stuffs, you can your radius of seeing, you can see farther. That's it. Not important. Instead, I'll take the short-sighted, and I'll talk about it later. But hear me that instead of that, I'll take the short-sighted most of the times. All the times. Not gonna lie, all the times. Fast healer, many players like this. If you like it, go for it. It's just wasting 6 points. At the first, again, don't get injured that easily. But if you're a new player, you're still like trying to learn, it's not a bad thing to have. You heal much more faster. Trust me, you heal much more faster, and especially when you have an injury on your hand, it's the worst one, leg and hand, because you can't swing your weapon when your hand is injured. You can't swing it fast. It will be very slow. Or when your leg is injured, you can't run fast, and fighting will be a hassle. So fast healer is good for people who are a little bit clumsy and get injured a lot. Fast learner, it's a must. Fast learner is a must. You always should have it. It's basically 125% XP boost to all of the skills except for the fitness and strength. These do not benefit from that, but others, all of the skills get benefit from fast learner. So it's a very good thing to have. It worth it. The -6 worth it, because you just spend -6 to only like 100% increase your cooking multipliers, but this thing actually gives multipliers to all of your skills. How good is that? And it's the same point and costs the same points. Feet, I usually don't pick fitness feet, because I'll take the athletic. Gives 4 fitness. I know it's -10. This is -6. So like if you again have a specific build and you still want to fit in some fitness, this is not bad, but I usually go for strong and athletic. Former scout, first aid and foraging. Foraging might be good, but the first aid is not good. Doesn't worth it. Herbalist. Herbalist now is nice to have. Not completely, because with herbalist or herbalist, you get to forage some rare plants that are actually medical, and they will help you like numb the pain. Some of them help you recover from injuries better. And another one helps you recover from the fractures easily, faster, very faster. It boosts it like 20% or 10%. So it's good to have it, but it's -6 points. And also there is a magazine in the game, which if you find it, the Herbalist magazine, it's basically this, and you don't need points for that. So don't get Herbalist, because you can read the magazine and just be an herbalist and find those plants. Hiker. Now hiker is nice because the foraging and trapping, again, if you're doing a survivalist run, it's a good thing to have. Especially the foraging and trapping, these two are awesome for surviving in the wild if you have the plan to survive in the wild. Keen hearing, again, a very good survival kit to have. So let me take this one. Let me take the keen hearing as well. I'm not going to like build a character like this. I'm just picking the good stuffs to show you in a very more organized order. Keen hearing is basically you can hear zombies coming much more earlier than a normal person, and the vision radius on the back of your character is increased. So you see the zombies approaching from behind much more faster than a normal character, so you can react faster. And it's a very super good thing to have, because most of the times players get jumped from behind. Like 99% of the times you get jumped from behind. And the bad news is you'd rather to get jumped from front, because if you get jumped from the rears and from the back, zombies have more chance to get a bite. If they attack you from front, your character has a chance to defend himself or herself and push them away, and you don't get bitten or any scratches and anything. But if you get bitten from behind or rears, from left or right, for example, you have more chance to get beaten, scratched, or lacerated. So it's good to have. It's a very good surviving thing, especially if you're new to the game and not that sensitive, and not that careful. Low thirst, do not pick it because water is, especially early game, is easy to manage. And also late game, you have rain barrels, you maybe live next to a lake or a river. So water is not an issue, to be honest, to have. So low thirst, just don't waste your points. Organized, don't waste your points. Basically increase container inventory on any container. I, I don't care about it, to be honest. Stout. Again, I recommend getting strong, more strength. So again, if you need to like push a little bit of strength too, but your points won't allow it, go for stout. Adrenaline junkie. This is a very interesting one. I never picked this one, to be honest, but it's interesting. When your character gets panicked, the more panicked your character gets, the faster you walk. And it's kind of like a very good thing to have fighting a horde because you will walk faster backwards. Your nimbleness goes up as well, so you fight more efficiently. So it's not bad to have, but it's minus 8 points. That's a lot of points. Handy. Now, Handy and Hunter, both of them are awesome, and but they they cost a lot. You only get to pick one of them at the end, especially if you're not unemployed. Spoilers alert: with unemployed, you actually can make take both of them, because of that minus plus 8 starting points. Basically, a free handy or hunter trait. So for handy, you get carpentry and maintenance. Awesome. 75% and 75% maintenance and carpentry. So if you have that in mind that okay, I'm not going to be a carpenter, but I like to build some base in the woods. I like to do that, but I don't like to be like solely commit to carpentry. This is a very good trait to have. For a hunter, to be honest, the only good thing that hunter has is aiming and trapping. Uh, Especially trapping. Aiming will get you to that aiming level 5 faster with that 75% aiming multiplier. And trapping is trapping. Trapping is always good, especially for late game, especially if you're trying to survive in the wood. And now, thick skin. This is interesting. Thick skin. Many people might love this trait. I hate this trait. I feel like it's useless because now let's talk about it why I think it's useless. Let's be a little bit more like nerdy about it. Thick skinned gives you like if a zombie attacks you, like hold a grip on you and tries to bite you, there is the 85% chance that he or she, that zombie, will be successfully injure you, whether it be a bite, laceration, or scratch. So 85%. So there is a 15% chance that you not get injured. What thick skin does is that it multiplies this 15% by 1.3, which means 4.5% more. So you're basically now standing in a sweet 19.5% chance not to get injured. But hear me out, still there's an 80% chance that you still get injured by the zombie. That's a lot. 80% is a lot. So will it be helpful? Not at all. You still don't, you should not get beaten by a zombie. 4% is not that appealing. Now let's talk about the counterpart of it, the thin skin. Thin skin multiplies that 15% by 0.7, which means 4.5% less chance. So you're standing at sweet 10.5% chance of not getting injured. So there's a 90% chance that the zombie might get you injured. Will it make any difference? 80% and 90%? No, both of them are high. High chances, 80 and 90. 80 means if you get like launched by zombies 10 times, 8 times will be the chance will be the times that you get injured, and only 2 times you will survive. And with the thin skin, there's only 1 time that you might survive. There's 9 times that you get injured. Nothing specific that you really, I need thick skin. 8 points for that, for 4%. If it was like 50% less chance, wow, just go for it, because it's going to be 50-50 now, when you get launched when you get attacked by a zombie. But it's only 4% better. What's the catch? What will it help you with? Athletic and strong, I always pick this too. Always pick this too. I mean, when I'm trying to build a character first, when I reset all the traits, 2 things that I always get is athletic and strong, and say, okay, now build around these 2. And then the reason is very, very fairly obvious, especially fitness. Fitness is awesome to have. You don't want to get exhausted while after swinging 2 times or 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So let's cap it up. All the good traits are these, which you can pick between them, but not all of them can be fitted in one character. So you need to like min and max everything. But these are the good things. Now, let's talk about the bad things. The other side. Sunday driver, never pick this one because you drive very slow, and for example, you have a more chance to get stuck in the grass while not on the road. Not good if you get stuck and you try to again unstuck yourself. The zombies might like get around you, surround you, and guess what? You're driving very slow. When the zombies surround you, you're just dead. You're just dead. You're a sitting duck there. And the next thing is you try to attach another car to your car and bring it to your base. You can't, because again you're driving so slow that your car will move very, very painfully slow. And also again, if you go to the grass, now you're super stuck. I'm not joking. You're super stuck. So don't pick it. All thumbs, again, as I said, dexterous is very good. So it's a must pick. Always pick this dexterous. So basically you counter it. You lose the counterpart, which is all thumbs. Don't pick this up. It's pain. Clumsy, I actually get clumsy. If you pick clumsy, you can get the graceful. Basically you have more chance to make noise, and also you have a little bit more chance to trip while going through fences or bumping into zombies while running. But again, it's plus 2 points, and yeah, if you be careful, nothing bad is going to happen. And I don't care about stealth because I'm building a fighter character most of the times, a character that can handle him or herself. Cowardly, don't take it because it's annoying to deal with, to be honest. Your character gets super spooked when he or she sees 1 zombie or 2 zombies. And yeah, guess what happens when you're super spooked? You deal less damage. Short-sighted, I always pick this one. And let's talk about the reason, because there's a very, very good cure for the short sight, which is glasses and reading glasses. You have them on, you're just good as new. It's invisible points. This is free points. These things, so there are some traits, they call them free points. This is one of them. It's free points because basically you can counter it completely with glasses. Slow reader, I actually picked this one. If I'm not on a server, if you're on a server, don't pick this one. It's going to be painful. But I can fast forward times when I'm playing on single player. So slow reader is 3 points for that. Weak stomach, 3 points. 3 points. You have higher chance to get food illness, food food poisoning basically. And as I said before, you won't ever eat food that has gone bad. Never, you will never eat that. Okay, your food is going to be fresh all the times. Don't worry about it. So always get weak stomach. 3 points. Now agrophobic and claustrophobic. Agrophobic is pain. Like your character is always scared when you're outside. Claustrophobic, so never pick this one. Claustrophobic is more manageable, but the bad news is you probably will end up sleeping inside the car because the bedrooms usually are very small, and when the room is small, your character will get scared, and when you're scared, you can't sleep. So it's manageable. You just need to like sleep inside the car, but it's a little bit risky to sleep inside the car. But I had the claustrophobic traits and I played with claustrophobic traits and I didn't have much problem. So if you really need the points, you can take claustrophobic, to be honest, because it's manageable. But agrophobic is like it's so hard to deal with. Conspicuous, again, I don't care about getting spotted by zombies, to be honest. And to be honest, I had 2 rounds right now, and clumsy and conspicuous really did not affect me trying to sneak. Disorganized, don't take it. To be honest, it's you need the at least the normal capacity. Hard of hearing. Now, it's a bit risky to pick this because again, you get jumped from behind more often because you can't hear the zombies coming. That effective. So, like, pick this up if you really like the challenge. But don't pick this up if you don't. You want to have a very have an easier life. Don't pick this one. Hearty appetite. Don't pick this one. Uh, Managing water is easy. Managing food is not that easy. You just like especially late game when you're outside of the town, probably outside of the town. It's hard to go back to town, loot for foods, and like farming and stuff takes time. So don't pick this. It's hard to manage. Pacifist. It says less effective with weapons. Basically, what it does is that you get less experience from weapons. So how do you get experience in like weapon skills? The damage you do, you get experience. The more damage you do, more experience you get. So pacifist actually screws with every single multiplier XP that you got, every single point that you spent on brawler, for example, hunter. So don't pick this because it will waste all of your attacking ability multipliers that you spent on the good traits. Prone to illness, basically 3 points. Again, when you get to winter, you already are very established, have everything, every warmth that you can get, warm clothes, warm base. Again, if you're running a special challenge, you can like not take this, but all in all, it's 3 points. Sleepyhead, don't take it. You don't want to be tired while facing a horde, and your character needs more sleep. So like you might only have like 7 to 8 in-game hours till your character gets sleepy and screws up with your attack damage and like accuracy. Smoker, 3 points. Like 3 points. You just need a lighter. You just need cigarettes, lighter or matches, cigarettes, and voila. And cigarettes are easy to obtain. Sometimes you find them on zombies. Sometimes you find them Usually the best place to find them is gas stations and bars, liquor stores. Not liquor stores, to be honest, bars. Go to bars. So yeah, and like if you don't smoke after like 2 days or 3 days, your character gets super stressed, and it will lead to you getting depressed. And you can counter depression with reading comic books or antidepressant uh, pills. Again, it can be countered by just smoking a cigarette. So it's 3 points. Don't worry about it. Always pick this one. Unlucky, again, it's just the opposite of lucky. So you get minus 10% on finding loots in containers, and also minus 5% on foraging. So that minus 5% on finding stuffs while foraging actually affects your foraging skills. So don't pick this up if you really try to put points in foraging and you need foraging. For example, you're trying to survive in the wild and do not, like, you have a challenge, you don't want to go back to the city at all. Don't pick unlucky. Asthmatic, not good. Fitness is very key. It is a key option here. You don't want to lose fitness that easily. Fear of blood. Now, it's annoying. It's not like, in my opinion, it's 3 points, 5 points, but it's annoying for some of you to deal with it. Basically, if your character gets blooded, the blood on him or her and on her clothes, she gets panicked. She won't get panicked like spooked. She will get stressed, just like smoker. So basically, if you pick smoker, you can get fear of blood because both of these counters with cigarettes. So, but fear of blood is a little bit more. Sorry, fear of blood is a little bit more complicated because you need to wash yourself in order to get rid of the stress. Because if you smoke cigarette, yeah, you will diminish the stress levels, but again, it will build up very fast when you're blooded. So you get like stressed after, for example, 3 hours in game. So it's not hard to deal with. You basically need to, like, after killing a horde, just go to the next bathroom, wash your character and wash your clothes. Done. But you can, you if you like, you can like skip this one. Don't pick it. Feeble, again, just like asthmatic. I don't take these two. High thirst, 3 points. Again, another 3 points that you get. +6. It's a lot. And it's manageable. Water is manageable in Project Zomboid. Don't worry about water. Out of shape, again, I don't like it. Overweight. Now, overweight is interesting. Your character won't die from being obese, and like obese is much more worse than overweight. But like being obese is just very bad. So basically, what's bad for like being obese and overweight? Your character will run slower. Your character have more chance to get injured while tripping, for example, and it has more chance to trip while moving the fences, and also the high fences. Your character has more chance to fail hopping through the high fences. So imagine that you're being chased by a group of zombies. You try to get over a big fence and like lose them, and your character fails going up, and the zombies catch up to you and kill you. So don't get overweight unless you're going for a challenge or something. Restless sleeper, don't get it. Yeah, you lose less sleeps, and also I feel like in this trait you get the nightmares, which will wake your character up with panic. Slow healer, in my opinion, it's a 3 point, but it's again annoying to. Sorry again. It's annoying to deal with. especially when you're new. Your wounds take so much longer to heal, so much longer to heal. So yeah, if you don't like it, don't pick it. I always pick it because it's 3 points for me. Try not to get injured. You won't get injured that easily, trust me. If you be careful and you know what you're doing, you won't get injured that easily. Slow learner, never. Never. Just don't. Just don't. Underweight, that's actually 3 points. You will only lose one fitness, which is not much, and you get 6 points for it. And your character is underweight. So what does underweight do? The counter is the obese and overweight. Your character has more chance to get tripped, just like obese, because you're weaker. For your character is weaker, especially when you bump into zombies. You have more chance to trip and fall. And again, like you get injured faster because you trip more often. And the counter to it is eating. Eating high calorie foods will bring you back to the normal weight, which is more than 75. Between 75 to 85 points is the normal weight. And unfortunately, when you get to 75, you won't get back that one fitness that you lost. It's gone forever. So do not count on that. Okay, I'm going to eat food and get that one fitness back. You won't. Thin skin, the counterpart of thick skin. As I told you guys before, I won't argue on that anymore. I always pick thin skin because basically don't get beaten. Like, don't put yourself in a situation that you will probably get beaten. And trust me, if you get swarmed, it doesn't matter how much armor you wear, how much good traits you have, you'll die. So yeah, don't pick it. Don't pick the thick skin. Trust me, it's so dumb. Not sorry to say that, but it's so dumb to take the thick skin. At least don't take any of them. Don't take thin skin and thick skin and thin skin. I agree with that. At least you going with that 15% base chance to not get beaten while getting attacked by a zombie. Weak and unfit, don't take them, just like feeble and asthmatic. Weak and unfit are the counterparts to athletic and strong. Don't take them, just take these. Deaf, now deaf. Deaf, my guy. And my girls. It's just, wow. It's just like, if you want to have a challenge, if you want to challenge yourself, do this. Because basically you can't hear anything. And by anything, because you're deaf, you can't hear zombies getting close. You can't hear zombies banging on the door, banging on the window. You can't hear the, guessed it, helicopter sound. And like the helicopter is upon you, you're just walking in a park, enjoying the view, and while all the zombies around are attracted to you. And guessed it, you can't hear radios. You can still watch TVs because you can like watch the subtitles probably. You still can watch TVs, but you cannot listen to radios. And guess what? Radios actually inform you of the next flight, like next. Not the next. Basically, there's one helicopter event. They inform you about the helicopter event. So unfortunately, if you have deaf, you're in a very bad situation. So don't pick it. But if you want to have a challenge, pick it because it's funny. So these are the bad traits that I always pick, and I feel like you guys should pick it as well. Other bad habits are like very bad to have. Like I won't pick them. I might pick unlucky. I might pick it, but if you're going for a survivalist, you want to go into the woods, you rely on foraging. You don't really want to have this one. Okay, that's all about the traits. Now let's build a character. Okay, so now we're going to build a character. So I'm going to build off of unemployed. And to be honest, you can like take this build that I have and like min and max it with other traits, like for example with fire officer and others. But unemployed is the best because you start with 8 points. So it's a very good thing to like build a character off of. So we pick the best one, which is unemployed. So the things that I always pick are I always pick athletic and strong and fast learner. I always pick these. Dexterous, I always pick that. If you're on a single player, I take the wakeful. And also on the multiplayer, you don't have the unlucky or lucky, and also the wakeful. You don't have these two. And for cat's eyes, you will need it more in multiplayers because you can't sleep during the night. But still, if it's a stormy day, you need a little bit of more visions. It's helpful to have, and it's also like you will end up getting this as well. It's only 2 points, nothing much. So these are the things that I always pick. Now let's go to the bad traits, the no-no zone. Clumsy. Again, I don't care about getting spotted. We're building a badass character, a character that fights. You don't really care for getting spotted. Short-sighted. And trust me, it's not that hard to sneak, okay? It's not that hard. While having these traits on you, the clumsy and conspicuous. Although, for example, conspicuous gives like 200%, you will more likely 200% more likely to get spotted, means 2 times more, but still not that annoying. I always play with these 2 traits, and I'm not that bothered with the outcome. Slowly reader, because I'm in a single player, I can fast forward. It's 3 points. Weak stomach, 3 points. Prone to illness, smoker, 3 points. High thirst, 3 points. Now underweight, also many consider it 3 points. Me too. I always consider this 3 points. Now here comes the scary parts for many players, but again, this is a glass cannon, let's call it. This is a very aggressive and all damage character. You will enjoy fighting zombies a lot. You won't be scared that much. Okay, I'm going to be more careful, which I like it. I pick these 2. Thin skin and slow healer. Very bad combination, you might say, because thin skin, I get more injured. Slow healer, it takes more time to recover from those injuries. But trust me, you won't get that injured, especially when you're a more seasoned player. You won't get injured that easily, and I already told you guys about the thick skin and thin skin. It's not that beneficial to have the thick skin on you. So why not just go for the 4% less chance, because you're not going to get beaten, and you're not going to be in a situation that you might get beaten or anything if you be careful. And now, like I'm going to always take fear of blood. You can like skip this one, but it's 5 points, and the only counter is just wash yourself, smoke a cigarette. You already picked the smoker, so you need the cigarettes. Now you only need to wash yourself, which is not that hard to do. Trust me. I have runs that I survived a long time, 1 month and like 20 days, something. 2 months in some cases. And fear of blood was not an issue, especially when you're next to a big source of water, just like lakes or rivers. That's even better. Anyways, now these are the things that I sometimes, when I need the points, I take the unlucky as well, because I really don't care about 10% less loots, because again, we're a fighter. We can fight our way and find more loots in better places. Now let's go back to, now we have 32 points to spare. We spent 2 points for outdoorsman. And now if we're unemployed, I told you guys about the 8-point starter, so you basically get one of these two for free. In my opinion, these two are the best 8-point traits that I at least know. You can instead pick the thick skin. It's 8-point as well, but I won't. Instead, I'll take these two, Handy and Hunter. Handy is especially better than Hunter in many cases, because Hunter, the only value that Hunter gives you is aiming and trapping. Sneaking and short blade is not that big of a deal, but Handy actually gives you two things, just like Hunter, to be honest, but it's 8 points. So, and these two are very important, like maintenance, as I talked about it, is very cool and good. Carpentry is also very good, especially if you're not taking carpentry and you still want to like secure your base, build a base maybe. That 75% really helps. Trust me, it really helps. You get easily with EHS, and some books can get to level 8 carpentry. So these two, we still have 14 points. I'm going to go with Brawler here to give us more fighting, XP multiplier, Axe and Blunt, Long Blunt. Long Blunt and Axe, these two are your go-to when doing 1v1s, I mean melees. I mean, you might say, oh, katana and machetes are good too. Yeah, they're short blades that you can't repair them, and they're super rare to find. But axes and especially long blunts are very, very common. So these two basically are your main melee weapons. Good to have multipliers on them. Okay, how much more points we have? We have 8 more. We can take adrenaline junkie, but I'd like to give my character some more long blunt XP boost, and also I like to give him brave, so he won't get panicked that easily, and also 100% on long blunt. You get there super fast. Like in my current run, I'm almost level 6 with long blunt, and I only killed 600 zombies, most of them with a long blunt. So basically after killing 600 zombies, you're there. Otherwise, you might kill, like, for example, 1,000 of zombies, 1,000 of zombies to get to level 6. And that's the character that I built. Completely aggressive. Now, you can, like, take these two out and, like, give him hiker or keen hearing, especially keen hearing, very good, especially when you're swarmed by zombies. If a ninja zombie is coming from behind, you'll have more time to react. But you can't add anything else. You will spare 2 points for it. But again, you can like take back, give away, for example, clumsy, for example, to balance it out. Basically, this is, let me give you the final build. This is my glass cannon build. So, yeah, high athletic, high fitness, high strength, and very, very like jack of all trades, to be honest. You can build a base, you can fight as well as efficiently as possible. Also, you have a little bit of trapping to survive in the wilds. Very good and solid build in my opinion. The only downfall to it is that you're very fragile because of the slow healer, thin skin, and underweight. You have to be more careful not to get jumped by zombies, which, as I said, if you have experience in this game, it's not that hard to manage. Trust me. And with some good protections, wearing some good clothes, yeah, you probably won't be that concerned. So now this is the whole build on unemployed though. if I want to like switch it to fire officer, I need to get rid of one of these twos, or like two of these, like brave and, for example, baseball player are a go-to for me. I get rid of them, I still have a lot of multipliers. You see how good it is? So this is probably the build that you like to go for firefighter, fire officer. For police officer, I won't take hunter. I just leave it, let it go, because 25. Because I already have aiming at 125. I'm capped. I can't add any more multipliers to it. So goodbye hunter. Now we have 4 more to go. We can go for brave, because you're probably going to shoot more with this occupation. It's good to be less scared while facing a horde of zombies. Now for park ranger, I'm going to build a specific build for survivalists, so I'm not going to spoil it right now, but these 3 are probably the most common ones. For carpenter, you have more options as well. You can like add, I have 6 points spared. I don't have the hunter on. I can take the hunter and get rid of, for example, cat eyes. Because it's a single player, I probably won't need cat eyes. And I again have these 2 on me as well. But handy, again, it's not very important for carpenter, because I have carpentry at 125. So I have 8 points to spare. I can get adrenaline junkie or 2 4s, like for example, add baseball player and, I don't know, nutritionist maybe, or go for cat eyes and another 6 ones. For example, hiker gives me trapping and foraging boosts. This could be very good for carpenter, because probably when you pick carpenter you want to go build in the woods, so having trapping and foraging experience is very helpful. Also, you're a fighter as well, you see, this is a fighter setup. So that's for the glass cannon one, and let's go for a like more beginner friendly and more survivalist friendly. Catch you guys in that part. Okay, so this build is it's very hard. It was very hard to me to actually come up with a good build that is survivalist friendly, because basically you don't get huge points like thin skin and slow healer. But let's say you try to survive outside of the big cities, and you just occasionally go inside, loot a little bit, and just go back to your cabin in the woods. So basically the first thing that comes to your mind that is, okay, I need to build a base inside the woods. Probably find one of them, but I'm going with the idea that you want to build one. If you want to build one, carpenter is your go-to, because you get carpentry skills very fast with that juicy boost of experience. And these are the traits that I picked. So high thirst, probably in the woods you try to get next to a river or a lake for fishing. So you won't be like, the thirst won't be an issue. Underweight, basically because of the points at this point. Fear of blood for the points, and also you're next to a river and you can wash yourself regularly. And probably with this build, you don't like to get involved in fighting much. So the fighting is occasionally happening, not all the time. So you can have that. Prone to illness, again, you'll be prepared by the time that it comes that you need warm clothes and warm base. Smoker, probably smoker might not be a good trait to have here, because you're most of the times living in the forest. But I mean, come on, you at least loot one gas station store on your way. So like if you have like 100 cigarettes, 60 cigarettes, and probably like gas station stores have more than 60 cigarettes on them, so you will be packed for more than enough days. And those occasional going into big towns, in those trips you might find some more cigarettes. So Yeah, you can like put it in, squeeze it in. Weak stomach, dude, I told you guys before, it's 3 points. Now I took clumsy because, to be honest, I can't even get the conspicuous because we're in the woods. We're not going into city that much, so stealth is not the weakest point, the strongest point for us. So to be honest, I'll take the conspicuous as well. 4 more points. We can, for example, add nutritionist, maybe a sewer. To be honest, sewer not, but like a gardener might be nice because you're still in the woods. You try to uh, farm, or you can give yourself a little bit of aggression and give yourself a little bit boost on long blunt as well. Carpenter, the good thing is you have a little bit of boost on short blunt, but why not having a little bit of long blunt as well? So clumsy and conspicuous, because you're in the woods, you probably don't need stealth, so get them. Short-sighted, as I said, easy counter to it, just wear glasses. Like basically you can have glasses on your character when you start, so not that big of a deal. And the next one is slow reader, because we're in a single player, we can fast forward times 3 points. Cat's eyes, because I put this because I can. Like if I don't put it, I need to use 2 points. But basically in single players, you probably are sleep during nights. But sometimes you might not, so it's good to have it. Dexterous, always. Outdoorsman, especially when you're in like walking through the woods. It's good to have that little bit boost on less chance to get injured while going through trees. And the reason I didn't pick thin skin is because you're going through so many objects that might injure you, so it's good to not have it. I'm not going to pick thick skin as well because it's 8 points. It's hard to compensate with other stuffs. But like for example, you can get, I don't know, uh, you can sacrifice your, for example, claustrophobic and disorganized and get the thick skin as well. But I won't go for it. I don't want to get annoyed. But to be honest, claustrophobic is not a bad thing in this scenario, because in this scenario, like you build your own base, so you make it big, make your bedroom big. But again, it's a little bit hard to deal with. I won't put it there. You guys can put it there and get the thick skin. And disorganized, again, I need that a little bit of container capacity, so I won't really try to dwell on this one. I did not pick athletic and strong because if I pick them, I need to pick some stuff that I don't want to. I don't want to pick these, so let's get rid of that. I've put fast learner. Always take that. I've put lucky here. The reason is that you might not know it, but lucky, having the lucky trait, is not available in multiplayer. For lucky trait, your foraging might benefit from this as well. You have more chances to find good stuffs while foraging. So it's good to have it because you're going to forage a lot. And the next thing is fast healer. Again, because you're walking through the woods, you might get injured much more often than any other person. So it's good to recover faster from your injuries. And also I picked hiker because foraging and trapping are key for surviving inside in the woods. Also I picked keen hearing because there was probably not better options available. Like herbalist, you can go get some herbalist magazines from the nearby bookstores before you're leaving and you'll be good. But yeah, you can, instead of keen hearing, get the herbalist and be done with it. But keen hearing is good as well because you might not get ambushed while going inside the cities for gathering resources. It's a it's basically a safe net. So this is the build for a guy who wants to build inside the woods. Now, if you don't want to build inside the woods, you say, okay, hello, I try to be more sneaky. And I'll give you guys some more ideas about that as well. But let's talk about the park ranger as well. Another very good occupation to have, because 2 foraging and 2 points in trapping, and 2 means 100%. Let me reset. 100% XP boost on foraging and trapping as well. Also, you're very comfortable with using axe and carpentry. It's a jack of all trade, this occupation, although the bad thing is -4. So let's build a park ranger as well. I have this in mind that you're a survivalist. You try to build outside of the city, build your own cabin. So let's work again. The free points, I'm just adding the free points. And underweight. Okay, let's have them for now. To be honest, if you try to be outside, clumsy and conspicuous, like you won't go into cities much. So that's not bad to. It's not bad to have these. Now, wakeful, outdoorsman, dexterous, cat's eye, fast learner. I have 11 more. Let's take, let's see, hiker. I can give these to another 25%, and we're so good at it right now, and we're going to be so good at it. It leaves us with 5 points. We can take gymnast, which is not bad to have, to be honest. 1 nimble, I really like that one, and light-footed for more stealth, but as you can see, we're not very stealthy. So don't take that one. Lucky, I would definitely take that one. It will leave us with 1 point. I would take Fear of Blood. And instead, we can take the Fast Healer, because again, we're inside the woods. Now, Prone to Illness, I can get that as well, because again, we're ready for it. So another 4 points there. And let's see what we can do more. Nothing much. So let's see what stuffs can we do with 4 points. We can have a gardener, runner, nutritionist, brave, baseball player. I'd go with baseball player for more aggression, like 2. Now you have 2 weapons to play with. I feel like that's a good build for park ranger as well. Survivalist aspect. So you have the hiker. You will get to high levels of trapping, and you can make more and better traps to catch bigger animals in no time with these. And you basically self-sustenance, because with foraging you can build your own hammer, own axe, own knife. Basically, you will be the best survivalist out there with park ranger. So this is the build. I don't know tell me in the comments, what else would you like to have on a survivalist? And the next build that I'm going to show you guys in a bit is a stealth based build. Let's do that as well. Alright, this is a stealth build that I came up with, and I feel like it's not bad. So with this build, you probably try to avoid fights, try to sneak past zombies, and occasionally getting fight with like a small group, not try to get involved with bigger groups. So these are the builds. These are the bad ones. High thirst, slow healer. The reason I picked this, because like you probably don't want to go into the forest anymore and try to stay inside the houses, because you got the tools to stay hidden. You have the graceful and inconspicuous, so you won't get injured that much. Underweight, as always. Fear of Blood, again, it's manageable, so, and it's free points, because and we're taking the burglar as an occupation, because we can hotwire the cars and break into houses more easily. Slow reader, short-sighted, weak stomach. Unlucky this time because we don't need foraging, so I just go for the unlucky. And 10% less chance to have loots is not that big of an impact. Smoker, because still we're in the town, it's manageable again. I'm prone to illness. And for the good stuffs, cat's eyes, dexterous, wakeful, baseball player, I added this because you still need a little bit of fighting skills. You're inside a city, so you will encounter zombies and you have to kill them. It's good to have it. Graceful and inconspicuous. With inconspicuous, you get 50% less chance to get spotted by zombies. With graceful, your footsteps are 60% less. Footstep sounds are 60% less, and it's a little bit more muffled. And you get 90% more chance to not get tripped while walking over the fences. Actually, I feel like in the traits description, I said that you get 90% reduction in step sounds, but it's vice versa. You get 60% sound reduction on footsteps, and 90% chance to not get tripped while going over fences and stumbling upon a zombie and just rush through a zombie. Sometimes they will unbalance you as well. Inconspicuous, I told you guys before. So these two are super stealthy traits. Fast learner as always. I've squeezed some fitness as well because you're a thief. You're basically an assassin, a ninja. So you need to get through fences, run over places, and also sneaking while running. It costs a lot of endurance, and your endurance might deplete easily and you easily get exhausted where you don't want to get exhausted. So I put a little bit of fitness there. I couldn't go with the big fitness one with the athletic, but this although 2 more fitness is nice to have. And also I've put keen hearing because again you're a ninja. You want to be as vigilant as you possibly can. So yeah, for stealth, and look at the multipliers. You have multipliers on nimbleness, very good, especially while fighting. Long blunt, and also light-footed. So this is the build for the assassin. I was trying to say now, the stealth build. And let's finish the video here. I hope you guys like these 3 builds, and also the stuffs that I described about the occupations and available traits. And leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I know it got a very long video, but to be honest, it was necessary kinda, especially if you're new to the game. Feel free to jump into timestamps that I've put into the video, and see you guys in the next one.